welcome to Automobilista 1 and their menu system. It's clean, it's simple. It's a DX9, I believe, system. Nothing wrong with it. It's just, you know, it's a few years old, but they have a Boxer. Well, maybe I'm supposed to be racing a Porsche 911. Maybe I'm not doing apples to apples. So let's try this. Let's do Boxer Cup. Okay, that's the body style. My mistake. Fix that. Like that. Park GP. Open Park. National. I think that's right. Time trial. Here it is loading up. I have a solid state drive. Performs pretty well. It should. It's an older system on a potato PC. i7 4790K, I believe. Not overclocked. RTX 2070 Super graphics chip card. Not overclocked either. Let's see. Settings. Let's take a look at that. Driving aids, invulnerability on. Just don't want to get beat up. Auto pit lane on. Spin recovery off. Off. Stability off. Damage multiplier, AI strength. Doesn't matter right now. Driving aids off. Auto clutch on. I don't have a manual shifter. Auto ignition on. Advanced controls. Casual hardcore. Vulnerability on. Okay. And controls. We're on. We're all set up. Settings. Dampening, none. Force feedback, pure 360 hertz. Force feedback strength, 66%. Force feedback, force boost, 40%. Everything else, I think, is just standard. So here we go.
Watch out, yellow flag.
But I had the auto clutch on. Well, I'll have to do a 911 after this. The force feedback is different. I'm on the same wheel setup. Turns very light, slidey over there. Not a whole lot of road feel. Just very loose right now. When it slides, when you hear the tires slipping, the wheel is very loose and very soft on the force feedback. Very linear, no feedback. Still get a bump while it's sliding, and felt the bump. It's very predictable, giving it a lot of information or enough information. oversteery. Turning in with the brakes. Very easy taps. Obviously have to know the speeds in the corner.
The caution flag is out.
Now, why are we turning in one direction?
Yellow flag.
Awesome physics? I don't know. You be the judge. Not saying that it's not fun. I'm just saying. This is Automobilista 1 where everybody's raving about the force feedback and the physics. Was it my wheel settings here from Fanatec? Go through the wheel settings.
Watch out, yellow flag.
Feel the dips or the modulations on the road. That's fine. That's good. This is an old program, but everybody's touting how wonderful this is. And really it is, but critics are a little bit harsh on Project Cars 2. Everything it does really well. I can't say it's taken a second place to this either. Felt the curbing there wasn't super dramatic. I'm sure it's what it needs to be.
You cut the track.
Cut the track. There we go. The track cuts too. Everybody's got their own physics. Replicating what we can't really do in real time, so they're approximating. With some throttle to steer with the throttle. Get the feel of the car. This is what you do. A little bit heavy when you first turn in. Control it on the oversteer. That's nice. Try to control it on oversteer. Get into the curve. A little bit too sharp. A bit too testy.
Caution.
All right. We're going to get out of this. We're going to go back to Project Cars 2 and do just make sure we're in a boxer. Let's see. Exit. Okay. It's a 911. My mistake. Let's try to find the closest car we can in Project Cars 2. Let's see. We'll go through my force feedback settings. I'm on preset number 2 for me. Oh, I got a cold coming. Sneeze coming. Excuse me. I apologize for that. Let's see. Centering 330. Force feedback 100. SHO off. ABS 18. DR1 off. FOR 100. SPR off. DPR 50. FEI or FE1 10. AP CBP. And that's all the information I have. Let's see, quit game, yes. Let's get back into Project Cars 2. Drinking some red wine tonight. What are you guys drinking? What are you guys playing? What games are you into? What driving games are you into mostly? I'm in love with Project Cars 2. It fit all my needs. Quick get up and play. Do private testing. Let's get to Porche. 911 GTR3, GT3, 24 RS. Does RS have racing stripes? No. We'll do a 911 RSR. I know the RSR and a GT3 feel different. I always thought the Boxer was the Cayman, but what do I know? Not a car expert. Don't pretend to be. Okay, 911 RSR, 2017, 2016, 2016. You know what? Let's do a GT3. Let's do an RSR. Let's 3.4 seconds 0 to 100. 184, 525, 27, 2755, and the weight. GT3. Weight a little bit different. Horsepower slightly less than a GT3. 3.4 seconds, 3.4 seconds, 184, 186. These are exactly the same. Not sure what's the difference with the. I know the either the wheel position or the engine position. I think the engine position is in a different spot on the RSR, the GTE. Let's do the GTE. If I remember correctly, I like the balance on the GTE much better. And the cars do all feel different in Project Cars 2. So, Alton Park International. Nice clear sunny day. Nice thing about Project Cars 2 is the easy pick up and play menu. It's got all the settings that you need and more. Maybe there's more needed. But it's got full car setup and it's a good pick up and play. I will turn it to the loose setup. So we're starting off from a default.
Go, go, go!
I'm going to leave the controls display on so you can see the force feedback. We're using Christiaan Pure's force feedback 1.06 file, belt drive.
Okay, now take it steady on the outlap. Warm the tyres before you start pushing.
Feeling all the road. simulation. I got more surface feel. I got all the undulations. Now the road surface might be more detailed in a newer track. You can argue that. Obviously we're not in the same car, but we're trying to replicate things. Got a lot more road feel. Did in Automobilista 1, which seems to be the king, if not the one king. We had oversteer, and I tapped on the brakes, and I felt the brakes being tapped on, and I felt the car getting pulled, redirected into the turn. Undulations in the track through the corner. That's oversteering. Curb detail where necessary. Same, if not more, I'd say. The one thing that Christiaan Pure's force feedback files adds is the momentum of the wheel. As far as I understand his description. I think I've been using Christiaan Pure's force feedback file since version 1.03. It's changed the game for me. I haven't gone back. Maybe I should go back to see what the original force feedback feels like. See the wheel data, the bottom left of the screen. Yeah, you can. I moved my camera. Sorry. Just wanted to see if the camera is blocking it or not. Only thing it's blocking is the left tire, rear left tire's travel rate and temperature and all that. You can see the average and all the other wheels. Driving poorly because I'm not paying attention, and I'm a terrible driver. I love it. Felt the curb while oversteering through the corner. It's getting a little bit heavy. You should be able to see it on the bottom left, a horizontal bar, horizontal white bar. Force feedback tells you how heavy we're pushing here. We're not clipping yet. We're not doing anything. Calculating a lot more physics on this game just for how more mature this is. I'm afraid everybody's recollecting something that's not there on Automobilista 1. Might be controversial, but that's the way I'm reading it. And I might be a fanboy, but so are you. At the same time, as long as it's giving you enough detail on the track, then there should be no argument. Project Cars 2 is a simulation. It simulates a lot more things than any other simulator. thank goodness they left the force feedback file open to let you load into a custom force feedback file. They probably knew something was missing. Is the default raw or informative or immersive setting was. And that's what I was using on my Logitech because it seemed to multiply forces. A little bit more feel versus raw. I don't know how much you could tell from the live webcam view. And I know if you change the camber, you can feel the total difference in the car too. Everything you adjust, you can feel, and it's really trying to simulate that very well, including the limit slip differential, torque vectoring on the transmission. Everything simulates pretty darn well. Tire pressures, you can feel the difference. I'd suggest trying this force feedback file, maybe trying the settings I have or close to it, depending on what wheel make you have. Project Cars 2, Automobilista 1. Loading Christiaan Pure's file on your setup. Not very hard. It's not a big file. It's free. Nothing to lose. GTE Porsche seems very balanced. We're going to do the GT3 here. Second. Not trying for a fast lap. Trying to show modulations in the track, the force feedback, and how strong it really is with a belt-driven wheel. How much detail is amplified with the right force feedback file. I'd say when it's understeering, I'd say the Automobilista feels a lot more dead. Project Cars 2. And numb. They probably need a custom force feedback file. As far as physics go, I don't see myself spinning around in a circle when I crash. Which doesn't make any sense as far as physics go. Tires are warmed up, everything's feeling so nice. Not pushing it very hard, but pushing it enough. Alright, now let's do the GT3 version of the Porsche 911. We'll even do the Porsche 911 road car. I hate road cars. They don't give a whole lot of feelings, but let's do we'll even try the 911 RSR. I love that car. Or at least I think I do. Used to race that on the Logitech PlayStation 4 Project Cars. Nice sunny day. Oakton Park again. Have another sip of wine between track loads. You know it's good wine when it's in a plastic cup. And we're going to go to the loose default setup. Do a start.
Go, go, go.
I'm going to leave the force feedback and wheel travel on the screen. We could do a better analysis on what's going on. All I can do right now is talk about how it feels.
Right, the car's going to be
A supposed comparable car.
Take it steady at first.
Yes, sir. Everything you see my wheel doing, you can watch in the far left, bottom left graph. one-handed, so it pulls a lot more. It's pulling quite a bit. You turn the force feedback up, but with a belt drive, you are limited on your forces, but it's enough to pull your arms quite a bit. Direct drive probably has even more feedback and more information on the road surface. I am not disappointed whatsoever. Feel the curbing. You can watch the curbing on the graph, the live graph scrolling across there, the bar graph. Feeling that curve. Feeling the undulations of the car's suspension as it slid through. Understeer, tires catching. Catching the car on a slide. Call it oversteer, just call it cold tires. Track details obviously higher on project cars too, but as far as the surface detail, I'd say it's much higher. Not on highest settings of anything and everything on project cars too. I think I was on the highest settings on Automobilista. Feel the wheel weight modulate with the brake. And there's one suggestion I will say on the brake setups. Go into the brake settings here after we pass the finish line one more time. Tires are getting warmer. Pause the game. Feel the braking, the suspension. It's quite amazing. Feel the wheels get lighter as it going up the hill. Almost flying off the hill. I'd say there's certain cars that are terrible at project cars, too. I'd have to say Christiaan Pure's force feedback file makes every car better. There's the basic setups that are terrible on a lot of cars. There's so many great cars and so many great series that are ignored in project cars, too, that online races, that's a real shame. We have touring cars, GT3s, race quite a bit. The Clio cars are awesome. Those are raced once in a while. GT4 should be raced more. Ginetta Juniors. Renault 3.5 Formula Renaults. Some of the Lotus Formula cars should be raced quite a bit more. The Formula Junior should be raced a lot more. It's possible that there's just too much variety in this simulation that pulls it away, and everybody's racing GT3s, but can't blame them. They feel great, they look great, they're fast cars. You don't have to race the short version on the tracks. But look how much force feedback feeling I have of this track. I mean, I think you can see that. Nothing I'm faking here. All the graphs are there. You can point out the physics that are missing, crash sequences. Every sim has weird crash sequences. Even Automobilista 1 has the stupid spinouts that you've seen on the previous clip. Those stupid things. I'd say overall Project Cars 2 is the best one for me. Weather simulation, engineering simulation on the cars, setups. If you don't want to do car setups, download some of the time trial setups. For the top 5, you're going to get a good setup. You tweak that, you learn a little bit about your setups through that and tweak it. You balance the car to your likings. The LMP 900s, I'm just discovering. All of them seem to be so good. Way underutilized on the online games. The one flaw in Project Cars might be the AI. And up until a set of Corsa Competizione, the AI has notoriously been adequate. Nothing like online racing with humans, though. And I'd say with ACC, it's the same thing. Human racing is just a lot more entertaining. You get those surprise inconsistencies that you don't get any other way. You get your pride that you beat somebody that's real, not just the computer playing Atari pole position. Oops. I'm sorry, I raced a little bit too long. Get across the finish line. I'll show you my brake settings. And then we'll do a 911 mode car. Man, that feels good. Using the throttle to push me out of that. Irregularity. That was really good. Okay, options. Let's see. Let's go into controls. Where is that? Steering dead zone 0, steering sensitivity 50, throttle dead zone 15%, throttle sensitivity 30%, brake dead zone 15%. I think this is really important. Brake sensitivity 35%, clutch dead zone 10%, clutch sensitivity 40%, speed sensitivity 0. All the descriptions are here. I might not understand everyone, but if you have any questions, let me know. Minimum shift time. I don't think that matters with paddle shifters. RPM display gear. Yes. That's what we're displaying is the gear. So here, let's go back. Let's do a Porsche 911 road car. Do comparison to Automobilista. Maybe the track cars are different than their boxer car. We'll go back and do the Cayman GT4. Let's do. We did the GT3R, GT3. I don't think we did the 24-hour, but let's do the GT3 RS. It's a Road B. It's a road car, and then after that, we'll do the 911 RSR, an older Porsche. It's 2016. Change the color. I like that blue. I'm good with that. We're going to do another Ultimate Park. And I'll probably edit the video a little bit to chop it down in time. We could have an extended cut if you guys wish. Not sure how the voiceover is going to turn out or how the edit's going to turn out. If I could just do a live stream, that would be even easier. Stable. Let's see. Let's load a loose setup. Even over OEM setup.
Go, go, go.
GT3 RS road car. The interiors looked exactly the same. I think Project Cars 2 wins on interior and the car model. Track detail. I think we're just trying to compare force feedback. Get all the overlooked graphics. Sounds on Project 2 is good. I think sometimes on Automobilista sounds are a little bit more violent, visceral. Obviously the tires are not warmed up. See the force feedback lower left. As I'm pushing, the white bar is trying to push back, so you can see the strength there. Lost it a little bit, not paying attention. Talking and driving is not a good idea all the time. A lot of force feedback and detail on the curbing. Trying to keep a loose grip on the wheel itself. Let it show you the force feedback. And we are paying attention. I apologize for my shitty driving. I think the brake dead zone and sensitivity settings quite important. Are starting to warm up. On any sim, everything can be improved. The sounds, the graphics, the force feedback. I'd say this is as good as we have right now. That's my only argument. And everybody's entitled to opinion. That's why there are so many different cars in the world, because somebody buys every one of them. And somebody really loves the shape of one. Probably somebody that loves a Yugo better than a Porsche. They're crazy to most of the world, but dealing with humans here. That was oversteer with some surface feedback. More gentle or gradual onto the oversteer. Give you some indication the tires are going to give out. versus all of a sudden twitching like it did in Automobilista. Wiping out and doing a spit out. Actually argue that the lower horsepower cars are a lot funner to drive. You got a lot closer racing mechanics. Balancing the oversteer with braking through that corner. All the physics that I know of are there. Seem to be fairly realistic. Let's do the 911, the older one. 3-liter or whatever it is, non-turbo. 1970s version. RSR. 308 horsepower, 1,984 pounds. 156 top speed, flat 6. One thing I don't simulate is a manual H-pattern shifter because I don't have one. Fanatec, send me one, please. I'd love to have it. I'd love to have the e-brake. I'd love to get into the rally cars on this thing. This simulation is so deep. Game, whatever, so deep. Sounds could be a little bit more richer, but I still think overall it sounds a lot more rich than even project ACC. ACC sounds like it's recorded in a studio. It sounds like I'm in a box. This one just sounds like digital sounds implemented, but overall it's great. It's a B-. Definitely above average. Oh, so much force feedback on this thing. Pushing, it's slipping. Oh, it's incredible. I wish one of the big players on YouTube could confirm what I'm feeling here. Oh, that's so good. This is all with default setups. car setups. No camber adjustment, nothing on the transmission differentials. We're still on the same force feedback, gain, volume, FX settings. Change those to your liking. Understeer with road feel. Understeer with cold tires. Feel when you're crossing the curb, when you're crossing the line into the grass. When both tires are over the line, over the limit, and then the limit Nazi comes forward, tells us that we are when we're in a race. We get slowdown penalties. We are going over the dirt, wrangled. The wall. All seems fairly realistic to me. Thing Project Car does too that's very difficult to do is do the physics of a front wheel drive car. I'd argue if it could do that, it's doing a rear wheel drive car just as well. Well, 911 RSR sounds awesome. Feels awesome. So much force feedback and road feel. I'd say all the Porsches, 911 Porsches feel awesome. I'm gonna do a couple more laps, then I'm gonna do the Cayman GT4. Give that a go. Again, I'm not sure if I'm gonna edit out the first round with the GT4 Porsche. After all these, like which one is Automobilista trying to emulate? Obviously, they don't have licensing. You save money on that. That's fine. Let's call it generic, not in a bad way. Just generic. Project Cars 2 has a lot more budget. Obviously now they're going to use the same engine. Slightly Mad Studios graphics, physics engine. They're just trying to tweak it to their likings. So far it sounds like they are doing everything well with it. They still have the generic licensing, which is no licensing. When Project Cars 3 comes out, I'd imagine they're going to have licensing. They're going to have more cars, more tracks, more tweaks. They're probably going to learn some things from Riza Studios. I hope they learn something from Hugo Voss, force feedback file, Christiaan Pure's force feedback file. The name escapes me that Christiaan Pure uses now for the FX. Been with Project Cars since Project Cars 1 as far as a custom force feedback file, which helped quite a bit. Christiaan Pure's take on the momentum on the wheel. You get such good road feel. Such good weight on the front. If you drive a real car, you're not going to feel the same thing. The first thing, got power steering. Second thing, you have a moving cockpit. You have G-forces. There's no need to have these kind of this feel in the wheel. Feel it in your body and your movement. The G-forces of your organs. So they have to put everything in the wheel. Give you that feedback with your ass under your car's going out. You're getting understeer. You're getting oversteer. You get some feedback from braking, from your suspension and your braking. Some force feedback back and forth like that when you're braking with ABS, or undulations in the track, how the tires are tracking and actually getting more or less friction as it bounces back and forth, or skipping, depending on how hard your suspension is. All those things are coming into consideration. Nice driving, naturally aspirated engine. Good engine car like this is so balanced. What a pretty roller coaster track. That was fun. What a solid car. All right. GT4 Cayman. Let's give that a go. Same track. Go back to the default settings. There's a lot more Porsches to compare, but at the same time, I'm just trying to compare Automobilista default settings, Project Cars default settings. Nobody goes into Automobilista with their settings or setups or wheel settings to tell me what's great and why they say it feels great and so realistic and such great physics. I think it's window shopping. I may be window shopping in a dream state. That's fine. You could have that same opinion about me in reverse. But give it a try. Prove it. Try to prove me wrong. Your Your opinion may influence my opinion. My opinion may influence yours. Not guaranteed. Not trying to sell anything. Just trying to help everybody out on the love of racing. Let's race some more cars in Project Tech Cars 2. That's my wish. Race some RSRs. 911 RSR. Just lost it. Was that me? Oh, let's try driving up this hill. Whoa. Oh, let's see. Oh, that's awesome. You guys ready? I think that's simulated pretty darn well, man. Damn. Alright, here we are in PlayStation GT3 view. We don't race that way. I'd say the force feedback's not as strong. But I feel everything. Feel the wheels slip on the oversteer. Wheel geometry matters on force feedback on Project Cars 2. Plus we got cold tires here. I imagine they're taking into account the car's weight, possibly the wheel weight to the simulation. Again, we're talking about cars that we're probably, most of us are never going to drive. Some people have confirmed cars on all the simulations. Assetto Corsa, Assetto Corsa Competizione, Project Cars 2. You know, they all swear up and down it's the real thing. So it all comes down to personal opinions. What feels good for you on your setup, on your wheel. Thing I do like what they're doing on ACC is not trying to have too many cars. They just announced GT4 DLC packs. I think if they get to a point where they love their force feedback files, which I'm not a fan of, then you start expanding the cars. Project Cars 1 was an evolution from Slightly Mad Studios from their arcade racers. Slightly Mad Project Cars 1 had different force feedback, had different graphics. It's an evolution. Now Project Cars 2 is their latest. It's what's to come from the future. There's nothing that's perfect. Just surprising how many people play certain games than others. That's all I'm saying. Somebody's fond memories of an old cartoon from the heyday versus what we like now, or the kids like now, is completely different. The nostalgia might be there for them. That's fine. It's amazing, you know. Driving simulator from 2009 might be amazing. It ran on a Pentium 4. That's fine. I love my old arcade games that are right behind me. I collect arcade games in my basement. Kids have parties here with their friends. I have young kids. It's nostalgia. But I'm not going to say that they're better than modern PlayStation 4 game playing Spider-Man or a Call of Duty. Not that I'm into those games at all. It's a different era, a different game. There's nostalgia behind Miss Pac-Man and Dig Dug and Defender. You know, it's can't replicate Tempest unless it's a real Tempest. GT4, it's great. Lowish horsepower. I'd say the RSR 911 was funner to drive. I think it felt a lot more planted. Both cars could get loose. Enough horsepower to get loose. But you know, let's do a 911 RSR series. RSR Cup. I don't know what the heck you call it. Powered through that quarter. Predictable, very controllable. Like every real GT4 or Cayman road car review that I've seen. I'm not sure what goes into making this a GT4 track car. But it's going to be the similar platform. Anyways, that's my take on Project Cars 2. Did I leave anything out? Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening to my rant. Give me your feedback. Tell me what I'm missing on Automobilista. Tell me what I'm missing on Project Cars 2. Make sure you try Christian Pure's force feedback files first before you comment. I may come back and do a force feedback pure settings and immersion and immersive or whatever it's called, raw, and I'll get back to you. I'd like to hear what you guys have to think. Talk to you later. Over and out. Bye.